everyone. This is Shamonica Wiggins, social media manager of the Sickle Cell Community Consortium, and I am so excited to be back with you guys for this week's community conversations. I'm excited about my guest tonight. Everybody, and also disclaimer, my 10-month-old baby, y'all might hear him. He's 10 months and he's finding his voice, so I apologize in advance, but that's the life of a mom. But we're excited. If you have joined or if you're joining, please, please like the video and share the video, tag people, and all of that great stuff. I'm excited to join with my guest Adé. Adé is a partner here at the Sickle Cell Consortium, and he's also the creator of the online platform Sick Cell. So, yeah. Hey, Adé. Okay, I'm gonna say your whole name. We just practiced. I'm gonna try to say it again. Oh, it went away from me. That's not fair. Okay, there we go. Hey, I'm so excited. Adé Ddot. I feel like I did it so much better when it was just me and you. But thanks for accepting the invitation to be this week's guest. And could you tell our listeners just a little bit about yourself?
Hey, Shamonica, good to see you again. Thanks for having me. Hey, everyone, I'm Adé Ddot. I am currently based right outside of Philly. I am an independent advocate with the consortium and just happy to be here.
Adé, you move around a lot. I didn't know you were close to Philly now.
Yeah. It's been a journey, but I think this is home for now. In the meantime, at least a few years, because I've
Oh,
been I've
okay.
been schooling and all of that, so it's kind of been taking me all over the place. So I think I'm finally
Yeah.
settled down for a bit.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you are kind of going to be grounded for a little bit. I've never moved around a lot, but I know just from being your friend, you've not only been over the country, but you also travel outside of the country. Um, can you share a little bit about that? Because, a lot of sickle cell warriors feel like we can't travel. So, can you tell us a little more about like your travels and if school is the only reason you've traveled around so much?
Nah. I love traveling. I feel like traveling is kind of like my escape in a way. It's probably my one of my favorite hobbies. We haven't gotten to do a lot of it because of the pandemic, over the last couple of years, but outside is finally opening back up. So,
Yeah.
looking forward to getting back to some traveling. I did get to do some traveling through school because I did a semester abroad program, and that was one of the best experiences of my life. So I always suggest to all the students out there, if your school has some kind of exchange program, definitely take advantage of it. But do your homework first. Like I don't think we should be afraid and let fear hold us back from doing what we want to do, especially when it comes to traveling or just achieving your goals in general, as long as you take the necessary precautions. And for me, some of what that looks like is just making sure I have enough water. So, drink enough water before I get on the flight, go with a bottle with me that I can fill up at the airport. That's at least like a liter, depending on the length of the flight. So I would say anything up to 6 hours or more, definitely try to have one or two bottles with you that you can drink on the plane. And also, I personally try to sit on the aisle if you're drinking all
Yeah.
that water, so you don't want to get up to pee and have to disturb everybody if you can.
I like to
Um,
sit on the owl too.
yeah, exactly. And then wherever you're going, if you're going abroad or just domestic, try to get some insurance because you just never know. I think I found that it's always been worth it for me because I've gotten sick abroad a lot. But I don't let it stop me. I guess my take on it is just kind of like I could have been home doing nothing and I would have gotten
Right.
sick, right? So why not
Yeah.
make the most of it? So yeah, I do love to travel, but we can chat about that some other time. I can talk about
Yeah.
traveling all day.
Right. But no, I just wanted to ask that because that's something I know about you, and it's also a common topic that sickle cell warriors ask about. I see it in the groups. I'm
Yeah.
going on a flight. What should I do? So that's why I asked.
Hmm.
And I recently learned that we can take water on the flight if we tell them it's medical water that we need it for a medical condition.
Oh, word? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I learned it after traveling to Florida. So yeah, you learn
Ah,
something
so
new
you can
every
get
day.
through security with that.
Yeah,
Or if
so
you have some kind of pass or something from your doctor.
I don't think you need a pass. One of the other partners, she was traveling,
Mm.
going through security, and she shared. She had 4-liter bottles of water
Oh,
with
wow.
her, and she explained that she has a medical condition that requires her to stay hydrated and to take medication. And
Oh,
they
wow.
couldn't tell her she couldn't bring it. I didn't know that.
Do
So
you know where she was traveling from?
yeah, we were all traveling from Florida.
Or- I was asking because I'm not sure if it's a state by state regulation or not, but that's definitely something to look into. So for me, I
Yeah,
usually come with like either an empty bottle and then fill it up post security, or I buy the water after security, which can be very expensive if you're doing it
yeah.
at the airport. So if you can come with your own water, then that's clutch.
That's what I suggest too. But like you
Hmm.
said, we can talk about traveling all day.
Oh,
So
one more travel thing though, since you brought that
okay.
up.
Yeah.
Something else that people don't know is most airlines actually have portable oxygen available. So not the one that like drops down in case of an
Yeah.
emergency. But I've been on flights where I felt a crisis coming on and I was in a lot of pain and I asked, and they've given me oxygen before on the flight, and that could also really help because of the altitude if you're getting sick from that.
I've experienced that as well and had to get oxygen on board. So that is another
Hmm.
useful tip. Um, but like you said, we can talk about traveling all day. Before you came on, I mentioned to everyone that you have an online platform called Sick Cell, Sick Cell. And is it only on Twitter, or is it's a website and you have a Twitter account, or do you have other social handles with it as well?
Yeah, it's actually a full blown website, online community. I started it back in like 2008, I think, when I was initially in grad school, and I kind of felt like I was isolated out there. I didn't really have a community to connect to understand what I was going through. So back then, it was like the first online community for people living with sickle cell before like Facebook groups and everything like that. Um, and it's still going strong. So if people can check that out, I also run the Twitter account with the same name, like you said, Cell.
That's really cool. I definitely didn't know there was an online community of sickle cell warriors until 2013.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I had a Twitter since like '08, but I wasn't big on Twitter. But when Instagram hit,
Mm.
and I discovered hashtags, because back
Yeah.
in the day we just called that a pound sign.
Hmm.
But I hashtagged sickle cell, and I went to sleep and woke up with all these new friend requests, and they all
Oh,
had sickle
wow.
cell. So
Nice.
that it's like really, that's been one of my favorite things of my advocacy journey, is connecting with people all over the world,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Most
from the
deaf.
comfort of your own home. So you also mentioned you're one of our independent patient advocates, meaning, for people watching who don't know what that means Ade does advocacy just alone, like different things, and he's not attached to a community-based organization. So, what are some of the things you've accomplished as an independent advocate, and how did, besides doing 6L, how did you jump into advocacy?
Yeah. I think what got me initially into advocacy was the start of sixcell.com. Like you said back then, before like, organic social media and like hashtags and everything else like that. I was able to like connect with people globally and meet people like in France and all the parts of the world where I didn't think sickle cell really existed, and like meeting white people, all colors of skins, that have sickle cell and kind of going through the same thing. And that's what kind of really got me into it when I saw how fulfilling and impactful that work could be, because I had like people reaching out to say, wow, thanks for putting this together. This is the first time I'm actually meeting anybody else with sickle cell that understands what I'm going through. I kind of always took it for granted because my sister also had it, so I've kind of always known someone. But then to hear those people messages and the impact they had on their life made me want to do more within that space. And then partnering with the consortium, I mean, I feel like it's the core of the sickle cell community for me. I've been able to meet so many people globally as well, and domestically that are part of the consortium. people like you and many others within the community, that you kind of feel like you have this external support system, right? Because like, we have the men's track, we have our group. If I'm going through something, that I can post it in there and I get feedback, and vice versa. And being able to share and give back to the community as well, and mentoring folks is very fulfilling for me. So it's been a great ride, and I look forward to doing more.
I completely relate to the feeling of it gives like it's a bigger purpose. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Um,
No worries.
um,
You got your hands full over there.
yeah, two of my little cousins are here in addition to my
Oh
own
wow.
baby. So, but as I was saying, like it really does, the advocacy really does, seeing the impact really does, give purpose to advocacy and makes you realize, oh, this is why I'm doing this, because how it impacts each individual warrior differently. And like you said, a lot of people don't grow up with a sibling or a family member with the illness.
Yeah, definitely. I think something I could add to that, actually, while Shamonica is handling her business, is that it's crazy how it gives you a sense of purpose, actually, because I changed my career path because of this. I realized the work I was doing wasn't really fulfilling enough, so I went back to school to actually make a pivot to healthcare and marketing, because I wanted to have more of an impact within the space of like, how do we take the patient centric approach to the way that we do healthcare? And I'm kind of working in that space now, so it helps to be doing something that's more fulfilling, and like, working towards your calling, so to say.
Yeah, I agree. And I think a lot of us who have become advocates and do it on a larger scale have found ways to make a career out of it, or to, make a living from it, and do it more than if you worked a traditional 9 to 5. You might not be able to put as much time into advocacy. So I think that's something very common within the community. And before I muted earlier, I was going to say, yeah, don't a lot of people don't have anyone else in their family, and that's why I think social media is such a big deal. For myself, I was 13 until someone else in
Mm,
my family was born with sickle cell, and had it not been for going to sickle cell camp as a kid, she would have been the first person I met with sickle cell. But I'm grateful I had camp growing up, because that
yeah,
it makes like a huge difference
yeah,
experiencing that as a kid.
yeah, for sure. That's something I didn't have that I wish I had growing up, was like that camp. And then
Yeah,
like what you said about like doing this job full time, it like what people like you are doing is something that I completely like commend you guys for doing. Because I mean, I do advocacy on the side as like a part time thing, because I do have like a full 9 to 5 job, but I couldn't imagine like what it took to do this full time. And kudos to you guys for pushing for pushing that
yeah.
work forward.
Right. I think it's a lot of work, but it's really fulfilling. Like,
Yeah.
because a big proud thing I'm proud of is I've worked with each company that has a new drug on the market for sickle cell.
Hmm.
And with one of those companies, GBT, when I was with Bolus for sickle cell, we were at the very beginning of the study, and I was able to work
Mm,
with them throughout the study and see it make it to market. And same with Novartis. So that kind
yeah.
of stuff is really exciting, because you get to see you see the buildup of what's coming for the community,
Yeah.
as far aside from people just seeing it, like when it was announced about this medication is completely new to them. To be
Mm,
on the other side and see it from the ground up is really rewarding.
I
um
bet.
but
Absolutely.
yeah, it's great. I
Absolutely.
really like it. It's
Just the stuff
sometimes
that I've been a part
stressful.
of. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you've been on ad boards and stuff with me,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah. I was
yeah.
gonna say just the stuff that I've been a part of as well, with like pharma companies, and like, how does the saying go? Nothing for us without us. Like
Yep,
being a
yep.
part of that effort from beginning to end, and then seeing the fruits of your labor kind of thing goes a long way. And knowing that we actually had a say in what's being made and created for us.
Yeah, it's like a great feeling. I know.
Yeah.
So when you were explaining like other things you've done with advocacy, you mentioned the men's track, and we have our convention coming up, and a lot of people aren't familiar with the different tracks. Could you
Mhm.
share more about your insight about the men's track and like what you've gained from it, and like just your opinion on the things that are discussed during the men's track sessions?
Yeah, for sure. The men's track has been a blessing for me, and I think for most of the men that are within that group, because it's an opportunity for us to discuss things that might be uncomfortable or difficult to discuss with other people that might not be going through the same things, especially topics that men find vulnerable, right? Because men a lot of times have this like pride about, oh yeah, I'm good, nothing bothers me. But it's kind of like an opportunity for us to remove that mask and just be real with one another. And we talk about, how sickle cell affects our day to day and everyday lives, dating, single, married, having children, all the different things such as priapism, that specifically only affect men. So I think it's been a great outlet, if nothing else.
Yeah, when I hear that, it really makes me happy because obviously I'm not a man, but I do have sickle cell. But I have so many friends like you and other people who are guys with sickle cell, and I do recognize that a man's journey with this illness is completely different than a woman's journey with this illness. And I'm glad the consortium was able to recognize that, and we listened to the men when y'all said we need something for us. The women are always thought of. We need something for us. So that made me really excited, and I love hearing the testimonies of men who signed up for it because men. Okay, shameless plug. Here's a graphic about convention, and convention starts on July 20th. So registration is still open if y'all want to register, but caregivers can participate, patients, young boys, and the testimonies alone, or like when the younger boys get to hear from the adult men. And I'm just happy that we have it so that you guys or the men, whoever attends, have that safe space to where they can really talk about the things men deal with. And you mentioned, relationships, and I know you are now a married man. So how is that going for you? You had a man, your wedding was so beautiful, like
Thank
those
you.
pictures. And your bride, she definitely looked beautiful, but you were killing it in your suit as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
So how have y'all been enjoying married life, and how does your spouse react to sickle cell and when you aren't feeling well?
Yeah, I mean, I think like you could definitely speak to this as well. It's a ride, like it's a journey. Um, Relationships, marriage, whatever it is. And shout out to Ori, that's my wife's name. She's definitely been a blessing. We've been together for about 10 years or so now altogether. And she's just been like my rock through it. Maybe before we got married, learning about sickle cell, and I think I was the first like real person that she had a real relationship with it. Experiencing like that first crisis, that's always like a jarring experience. Um, and even like to attending the convention, like she attends the caregivers sessions in the convention, and I think that's been very valuable for her to connect with other caregivers, because there are certain things caregivers probably feel like they can't really discuss with us either. And it, the burden that they feel like they have to carry and live with every day, that can be very difficult as well. And then just getting tips and tricks from other people and learning from how they cope and how they deal with it. But married life has been great, man. We took our honeymoon trip last year, when outside finally opened up, and that was amazing. So looking forward to hopefully taking like an anniversary trip this year too.
That's really exciting, and it makes me happy that your wife has been your rock and been amazing. Because I always say it takes like a special person to date someone with sickle cell. It takes a selfless person and an
Yes.
understanding person. So
Yes.
I'm always happy when I see other warriors being loved the way we all deserve to be loved. And I'm
Yeah.
excited. I get to join the marriage club with you in
Hey.
September when I get
Woo,
married.
woo, woo.
So,
Congrats.
yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome.
I'm excited. Um, I just
It's
like
definitely
lost my.
exciting. It's
Yeah,
definitely exciting.
it's very exciting. But like you said, it's a ride,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially when you add more letters to it.
I bet. I bet.
um,
What's your
but
son's name?
his name is Raiden, like from
Rated.
Mortal Kombat.
Nice. I love that. Is that where the inspiration came from?
Yeah,
What? Nice. Is that like your
yeah.
favorite character or something?
Raiden is my favorite character from
Get
Mortal
out of here.
Kombat.
I love Rated.
Yeah. So Rory, my daughter, her name is Rory,
Yeah, I know
and
Rory.
I'm one of those parents that wants their kid to have the same first letter.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
Rory name, it's not from the show. People think it's from Gilmore Girls, but her name is just her name
Okay.
because I like girls with boy names, and Rory's traditionally a boy name.
Nice.
And so when I got pregnant with Raiden, I told my fiance that because he wanted to name him something completely different. And I said, look, I understand that, but I already have this in my head. I said,
Oh wow, you had it all planned out.
so you can pick everything else but his first name. So
So you had that
um,
name picked out for a minute.
yeah, I actually changed it up. But yeah, Raiden is, and I had to pick something he would like. So my fiance is he's big into anime. And he's gotten me into anime, but he also likes stuff, superheroes and all that stuff. So he thought it was cool. You
That
know,
is
he
super
agreed
cool.
that it was a cool name.
That is really unique.
Um,
I like it.
yeah, so that's how he got his name. And Raiden, my baby, he's a great baby. He's so cute. But that's
That's
not what
awesome.
we're
The
here to
pictures look
discuss.
dope. I've seen him in the pics. He's
Yeah,
a big boy now.
yeah, he's big, he's heavy. Yeah, and he's gonna
I
be
bet.
walking soon.
Nice.
Um, So you already touched on it a little bit, but like I said, you've been a partner with us for a long time. I feel like since I've been a part of the consortium, I remember you being a part of the consortium. Could you like share like what your experience has been like, and if you feel that being a partner with the consortium has been beneficial to your advocacy at all?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I have been a part of the consortium for a while. I can't remember the first conference I attended. That was when I got to meet everyone initially, the OGs like you. Um, and I mean, it's been invaluable. A lot of the partnerships that I've had, a lot of the advocacy opportunities, a lot of like just the work that I've done with different organizations, not just pharma companies, like health tech, startups, whatever it might be, has come through my partnership with the consortium. And it's just so many resources like available at your fingertips. I think the one that sticks out the most right now is I'm actually in the process of switching over from an independent patient advocate to a junior CBO, and I, registered my nonprofit in the process of like making that conversion and being able to attend like office hours and having people to sit down with me and actually put me through what that process is like. This is what you need to register with the state. This is how you need to do your taxes. And like that high level touch point and getting that guidance is so valuable and crucial to like trying to figure out how to do everything yourself and like being stuck with different roadblocks and not knowing how to move forward. And people just make themselves available and you don't really find that elsewhere. So yeah, it's been great.
That makes me very happy to hear, and I can also agree. Back when we started Bold Lips for sickle cell, the consortium was very instrumental in us becoming a 501(c)(3) as well, and helped us with those exact same steps.
Mm,
So I can attest to that as well. And like you said, a lot of my advocacy opportunities have come through connections made at consortium events or consortium leads. So
mhm.
I'm glad that it's been, beneficial for you. And like I said, you've been around a long time.
It's been a
um,
while.
yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned office hours. For people listening who might not know what office hours is, I believe we do office hours once a month, and the staff is there. We are just on an open line to talk to y'all about any questions y'all might have, projects you're working on, things you need help with. So if you're a partner or you are affiliated with the consortium at all, please take advantage of office hours because that's what it's there for. Um, I think another great event for advocates is the Leadership Summit, and I'm so glad that that'll be back in person next year. And that's where
Yes.
we really learn, a lot of resources and a lot of hands-on stuff. And that's for partners only. The summit is for partners only, and it's where we do a lot of our learning. And the consortium really close to having our new website. It's called SuperPass, ready, where it have all of our education on it in one place. So I can't
Nice.
wait till we are able to launch that. But oh
I'm looking forward to that. That'll be amazing because I know there's
yeah,
been like so much to learn through Warrior University that I've
yeah,
personally learned. Like, no matter how much you think you know about sickle cell or
correct.
rare blood genetic disorders, like there's always so much more to learn. And Warrior University has also been a blessing to me just to learn the lingo, get up to speed, being able to have a conversation, being able to better advocate for yourself when you talk to
Yeah,
your providers or whoever it is. So that's another thing I'm a big proponent of is always stay learning, like educate yourself as much as you
yeah.
can.
And Warrior University classes are about to return. I know we've been working on the curriculum. Dominique Goodson is the dean of Warrior University, and then Sharonda and
Nice.
Joy have been working really hard on the website I was just talking about. And I've seen it; it's really nice. So I can't wait till
Nice.
the community gets to experience it and enjoy it and use it as a tool. Because, like you
Yeah.
said, all of our education will be in one spot. So,
Shout out
but
to the team for that. You
right,
mentioned
really.
the convention is back in person. Oh, the summit. Do you know where it is yet?
Oh, so the summit every year is in Atlanta, no matter
Okay.
what.
So is it that the
And
same location or is it a different place in Atlanta?
it'll
It's,
probably be a different
okay.
hotel. It's always like kind of the same area, but I
Yeah.
don't not always the same hotel.
Okay.
And then our next year convention is in person as well. So
Nice. I'm looking
I
forward to
miss those the
do,
most.
do we
So
know where that's gonna be?
I don't know if it's been 100% confirmed, but it's possibly going to be in Texas again.
Okay.
Just because a lot of our team is here in Texas, and since it'll be our
Yeah.
first year back, we want to ease back into it. But let's get to, before we wrap up, let's get to some of these fun random questions that we do with all of our guests. I don't ask you all of them. Sharonda sends me a long list and I just pick.
All right.
So let's get going. The first one is, let's see, I want to start with a good one. Oh,
Hello, Ren Kirby. I was just checking out the chat. Just people saying hello.
oh yeah, that I'm sorry. I usually say hello back. So thanks for doing that.
Nah, it's all good.
Um, what in which subject were you the worst at in school? Usually people ask about the best, but what was your least favorite subject in school?
Oh man, I I probably has to be math. Like, and
Same.
I'm terrible at math, and it's weird because people have the expectation that I should be great at math, because of my background is like computer science and like IT stuff, and I'm like, nah, I'm terrible at it. So
I'm terrible at math too. That's definitely my
yeah,
least favorite subject. I hated it all throughout school. I think since
yeah,
fourth grade, it's been my
yeah,
least favorite because that's when it started to get hard for me.
yeah.
Um, so what's your favorite? What was your favorite subject in school?
Huh. My favorite subject would probably let me see. Before college, or it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I might say before college, probably like history. I love like learning about how things came to be. And then even until now, like I watch a lot of like documentaries and
Me
stuff like
too.
that. So yeah.
I really
Although
love
although I hated
history.
it back then though, because of like the time and we were forced to like learn these things that I wasn't
Yeah.
interested in, right? Or were historically inaccurate.
Oh yeah, a lot of stuff is still historically inaccurate. We're not going to touch
Mhm.
on that in Texas
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they trying to change a whole lot of stuff out here.
That's a
Um,
conversation for like another hour.
right, right. But I enjoyed history in like grade school and in college because I felt like college we got to go deeper into stuff. So,
Mm,
um, so
yeah,
when are you the most productive, or is it day or night?
man, I'm definitely a night owl.
Yeah,
I
me too.
can't like I feel like this might be universal in the warrior community. I haven't met a warrior that's not a night owl yet, but probably I'm not sure, but I'm not a morning person at all. I'm just
Yeah.
like always tired and groggy no matter how much sleep I'm getting.
So I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm a morning person, but once I'm up, I'm like my normal self. But I'm more productive at night because no one needs me at night. No kids,
No
nobody. So
distractions.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I get most of my work done at night as well. But it's always been like that for me, especially in college.
Yeah.
Um,
My brain just functions better at night.
yeah, mine too. So which season do you prefer, summer or winter?
I would have to say spring
Okay,
just
okay.
because, yeah, either spring or maybe fall. Because summers can be too. I live in the Northeast, so like summers are usually, and you're in Texas, so you know, summer can be too hot for us sometimes. And then winters are just brutal. I'm not a fan of
Yeah,
winters at all. So
I
in the,
hate
the
the
sweet
cold.
spot in the middle.
Yeah, I like early fall because here in
Yeah,
Texas it's still warm but not blistering hot. And
yeah.
then at night it gets kind of cool. So I feel like early fall is the most comfortable time of year in Texas.
I would agree with
Um,
that for the Northeast too, and like it's really beautiful because of the foliage and the trees changing colors. You get to see that.
yeah. So I got two more questions left for you. What is something new happening in your life right now?
Oh man, so many new changes recently this year already. I think the most exciting, like I was saying earlier, is I recently moved to Philly about 3 or so years ago, almost 3 years ago, 2019, for my new job. Um, but my wife and I just bought a place this year, so that's relatively new. Super excited about that, and we're settling in. And I actually recently also started a new job a few months ago, so a couple of new things that I'm super excited about that's going well. On the advocacy side, um, couple of things in the work. I'm working on the CIP panel, community input panel for the Cure Sickle initiative
Okay.
that's being done by NHIBL.
Hmm.
And that's been an awesome place to just like bring that patient perspective to finding curative therapies. And we have a lot of exciting things planned in that regard as well.
That's exciting. And what's ironic is our last guest, what was new in her life was getting a new place to live as well too. So I'm
Oh,
happy to hear
nice.
that our community is moving on and getting new homes and everything. I always love to hear that. Okay, so to close out these questions, is something I like to ask warriors. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh man, that's such a great tough question. I feel like I should probably the first thing that pops to mind is just like give yourself some grace. Um, Warriors, we can be tough on ourselves sometimes because we expect so much from ourselves and we want to do more and make up for things and compete and all of that. But sometimes when your body and your mind tells you, okay, relax, or just listen to yourself and give yourself some grace. Sometimes it's all going to work out at the end of the day. As somebody always tells me, if it hasn't worked out, then it's not the end.
I think that's great advice, especially I think younger warriors definitely do should give themselves grace and know that don't compare yourself to others and that your journey is your journey, and like you said, it will work out in the end. So I think you ended. Oh my goodness.
They're telling us it's time to go.
Someone knocked on the door and the dog is the third kid here,
Oh
so
Lord.
that's just my life. But I think that's amazing advice, and thank you so much for taking this time to join us. Before I let you go, can you please share your social media handles and where people can find you online?
Yeah, of course. You guys can check me out on community I mentioned earlier, sickcell.com. It's SIKCELL. Same on Twitter. And feel free to DM me, ping me. I'm always looking to connect with others.
Thank you so much, Adé, and thank you, Lena. Was that her name, Lena?
Yeah. So
Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Lena. Thanks for tuning in. And thank you so much, Adé. It's been great. I can't wait till we get to catch up again in person. Um,
likewise.
if you are free to go, unless you would like to hang out while I share convention updates. But other than that, thank you so much for lending me some of your time today.
Yeah, pleasure to be here. It's good to connect with you again. I'll hang around if anybody wants to chat.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So, y'all, that has been our conversation with Ade. Please check him out on social media. Go check out his website, sickcell.com, SICKCELL.com. And yeah, get to know Ade. He's a great person. And also, like I said, I'm going to share some convention updates. Convention registration is still open. The deadline for registration. I don't think we even really close it. You just wouldn't get your registration box in time. But these are the dates: July 20th through the 24th, and we are presenting the Warrior Reset, taking back our mind, body, and spirit. During this convention, we're going to share a lot of hands-on workshops. We're going to allow sickle cell warriors to build their own toolkit. Here's a list of the events, just some of the events. This isn't everything, just some of the events we have planned. We're going to have round two of Jeopardy. We have the workshops. We have Paint and Chat. That's always a fan favorite. Gaming is coming back. Makeup and advocacy is coming back. We're going to have the Warriors After Dark for men and for women. Ladies, we're doing our pajama contest again. We get to make some smoothies, get to do some gardening, some morning wellness. We have a lot planned. So please, if you are a sickle cell warrior, a caregiver, a friend of somebody with sickle cell, or you just want to know more about sickle cell, please join, register for the event. The website is sicklecellconvention.org, and it will take you to registration. This is the warrior only things that these are things you can pick to go into your toolkit. You can pick 3 of these that we will send you, and these are special activities. Everyone can participate in the special activities, but again, only sickle cell warriors get to build their own toolkit. I selected mine. I picked to get the pulse ox and the water bottle and the pills caddy. I think that's what I put in my box, but you can put whatever 3 you want in your box. Scholarships are still available. So we, as always, we give all warriors the $25 scholarship rate. But if you need additional assistance, you can email Miss Maria at mrivera at sicklecellconsortium.org, and she will get you the scholarship information. And yeah, we can't wait to see everybody. We hope everyone register. We hope everybody enjoy it. I'm excited about the workshops, and like we said, we're going to take back our health and learn ways or things we can do in addition to what we do medically to help ourselves feel better mentally, physically, and spiritually. So that's what we have planned. And again, we can't wait to see. We have our children's track, like always. We have the men's track, as mentioned before. We have a young adults track and a sickle cell traits track, because um, there's more people living with trait than there are people living with sickle cell. So it's important that we share that education. And for the young adult track, Mia Robinson will be the coordinator of that. And as always, Dr. Tamia Austin is the coordinator of the trait track. Our children track is Miss Vanessa Rhodes. And I'm not 100% sure who's over the men's track. Is it Clayton again? I'm not sure. And I feel bad that I don't know that, but that's everything we have planned. So again, please register at sicklecellconvention.org. Please like the consortium social media pages so you can stay up to date on everything. And yeah, I think that's everything I have planned. Oh yeah, I'm glad you're registered. I can't wait to see and interact with you as well. That makes me excited to hear people are registered and ready So don't miss out, because usually after we start posting the things, everyone is like, how do I join? How do I join? So please register so you don't miss anything. And that's our show for today. Again, thank you, Ade, for joining me. It's been a joy. Thank you, everybody who tuned in to listen. Thank you, everyone who commented and said hi to us and that they're excited about the convention. And we'll be back same time next week with a new guest. And I can't wait. Oh, that's the day before convention. So yeah, that's going to be exciting community conversation. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ade. And good night, everyone. This has been Shamonica with Community Conversations with the Consortium.